Hey guys, welcome back to another review to my A24 series. Today I am reviewing The Killing of a Sacred Deer, starring Colin Farrell, Nicole Kidman, Barry Keoghan, Rafe Cassidy, Alicia Silverstone, Sonny Soljic, and Bill Camp, and was directed by Yorgos Lanthimos. Definitely a foreign director. Sorry if I mispronounced his name. And this film is about a charismatic surgeon is forced to make an unthinkable sacrifice after his life starts to fall apart because of the behavior of a teenage boy he has taken under his wing turns sinister. All right, let's talk about the positives of this movie. The acting, really good. Really good. Colin Farrell is really good in the movie. There were many scenes where he was very frightening, and other scenes where he was very calm. There are scenes where he was very charismatic. Other scenes where he would make you crap your pants scared. And then there is Nicole Kidman, who is also really good in the movie. She was really good. Rafe Cassidy is also really good in this movie. She really, really did impress me. And then there's Barry Keoghan. He is probably the best actor in the movie. He nailed this movie. Like he nailed the role. He's great in this movie. He's like Colin Farrell could be creepy in this movie at times, but this dude just makes, oh boy, this guy creeps you out throughout the entire movie, and he's really good. The directing is also really good. It's a very well-directed movie, very good camera angles, very good fluid camera work. The movie's cinematography is top-notch. It has really good shots and a really well-directed scene of this very intense game. I'm not really going to say what it is, but it's towards the end of the movie. It's a huge spoiler. But let's say the directing of the scene is masterful. What else to say? The movie's score is very eerie and very unnerving. I like the score. The editing of the movie is good. Basically, by a technical standpoint, this movie is good. The acting, really good. Directing, really good. Cinematography, really good. Score, really good. Editing, really good. Opening shot, excellent. Opening shot of this movie is disturbing, alright? It is very disturbing and uncomfortable to watch. Suspense? Alright, let me get into my... Alright, but before I get into my negatives, I want to talk a little more about the positives. There are some tense scenes. One scene in the basement. That scene is creepy. The ending game scene that I was talking about earlier. That scene was intense. Probably the most intense scene of the game. I mean, the movie. This movie is very well directed. It is very well acted. But, I don't see myself ever watching this movie again. One, it's a very disturbing movie. Some things happen in this movie that are incredibly screwed up. Alright. Yeah. This is a very disturbing movie. Not like the most disturbing movie ever made. It's nowhere near as bad as The Lighthouse, but this movie is still on the eerie side. It's not the scariest A24 horror film I've ever seen, but it is definitely one of the most eerie. Alright, let's get to my negatives with the film. Oh, the pacing. My gosh, the pacing. This movie feels longer than it actually is. It's like a 2-hour-long movie. This movie feels like it's 3 hours long at the most. My gosh, the pacing in this movie is terrible. That's my biggest issue with this movie, and easily killed my enjoyment of it, is it's so slow. Like, A24 movies are known for being slow burns. This movie... Oh gosh, this movie. This movie makes Midsommar look like Hot Summer Nights with its pacing. Like, this movie... Oh, geez, this movie's slow. almost to the point where I actually started squirming in my seat for something to happen, because a lot of this movie is just a lot of slow build-up, and not all of it pays off. There are some elements of horror thrown in there, but they're few and far between. There's not a lot of horror elements in this movie. It's more of a drama thriller than it is a straight-up horror movie. Like, when I watched this movie, I expected it to be a horror film. I expected it to be terrifying, because A24 movies get under my skin a lot, especially their horror films. Mainly their horror films. Yeah, mainly, only their horror films. This movie just kind of bored me, except for the ending. At the ending, some crap happens. Other than that, it's just a lot of slow build-up. And not a lot happens. Yeah. Another thing is, I think the movie is way too long. I don't think this needed to be 2 hours long. This could have easily been 90 minutes at the most, and the movie would have been great. The pacing would have been better too. It wouldn't make me want to shoot my foot just to get me up, because the pacing in this movie is literally the reason why I have a hard time coming to like this film, is the pacing. Because another criticisms of how I could like a movie is if I ever want to watch it again. There are so much movies that I admit are good movies, but my motivation to watch them ever again is very low. Movies like Age of Innocence, for example. Good movie. Never will watch it again. Pieces of a Woman. Great movie. Will never watch it again. Yeah. There's a lot of movies that are really good that I will not watch again, because it's just because they just don't interest me, or they just, I find them too slow, too sad, too disturbing to watch again. This is one of those movies, but not because it's disturbing, because it's slow, because I can never actually think of stomaching watching this movie again, because of how slow it is. And some people, that may not be a problem. Maybe I should rewatch this movie. It was at the time when I was just around getting into art house films, even though it's weird since I've loved almost everything A24 has done before that I saw that, so I can't really say that as an excuse. So yeah, when I saw this, I found it to be highly disappointing, because I love A24 movies. Almost all the movies that they've made I loved. And I still do. I still watch A24 films to this day, and I still love them. It was actually, fun fact, when I reviewed Hot Summer Nights, it was only a few days after I've watched it for the first time. So yeah. This one I watched a few years ago. Alright. Should I rate this? Grade this? Yeah, I will. Alright, so in conclusion, The Killing of a Sacred Deer is okay. It's not bad. It's a good movie. Will I ever watch it again? No. Maybe. I might watch it one more time, but I don't think I'll ever watch it again anytime soon. But yes, it's good. If you want to see it, go ahead. I'm not saying you shouldn't watch this film. I actually recommend you watch this movie. Any A24 movie I suggest you watch. They're my favorite studio right now. But yeah, I'm gonna give The Killing of a Sacred Deer a B-, and is flawed but good. So if you've seen The Killing of a Sacred Deer, what did you think of it? And if you like this review, give it a like, and I will see you guys next time.